So today I'm going to show you abstract art in 3 different stages.
Illustrations by Pete.
The cool thing about this is, at any stage, you can call it done. Once you've completed the stage, if you like the way it looks, it's done. I'll explain the different ones as it comes up, but I'm very jealous sometimes of graphite artists because you can create such subtle texture with the graphite. Any kind of pencil, really. But graphite especially, it's just the way it looks, it's very textured and fluid. And I just like the way it looks. But I hate when graphite smudges. It's a pet peeve, I can't handle it. Even usually when I use graphite, sometimes I put on gloves because I don't like to get it smudged all over my hand. Usually it just turns silver. The whole bottom of your palm here just turns silver. I hate it. And then when you close your sketchbook, same thing. Whatever the page is, the opposite page gets destroyed. I'm going to show you how to counteract that, maybe get over that, get past it, and maybe not have it be such a big issue. We'll see if that works. Okay, let's get into this and we'll talk about some stuff. Okay, so the first thing I want to mention is the graphite. I've always enjoyed graphite. I just don't like the way that it's so messy. It's just, it gets all over everything, but it's so nice to work with. It's so smooth and it flows like silk across the page. You can make things darker very easily. You can make things lighter very easily. This whole drawing I did with a 2B pencil. So all of the pencil work here, it's all a 4B, not a 2B. It's a 4B, and I got some really light spots with it and some very dark spots with it. I didn't go crazy. I didn't pull out any H pencils. I didn't pull out any like 6Bs or 8Bs or something crazy. I find that the darker, anything after 4 gets kind of shiny, and I don't like that. It almost looks like it's brighter than the shades next to it, which are actually lighter. So I don't like that, but if you just layer several times with that 4B, you can get something fairly dark that doesn't reflect as much, and it still looks like a dark part of the passage. So I just took my time with this, I had fun, and I just developed shapes and the flow the way that I wanted to, and then I went back in. At first I drew just the shapes and just put a couple little shades in. Then I went back in and I shaded an entire area and made it a little bit darker around the darker parts I already had. I just increased the intensity of those. But so at the end of this first stage, if I wanted to stop, it's a complete drawing. It's done. If I just wanted to sketch something in graphite, it's done. It looks pretty cool. It's fine with me. Then I went in and I added some color, and what I used was the Graphitint pans because I figured colored graphite on top of the graphite, it'll blend very nicely, and it did. It came out very soft. Anytime you're doing line and wash with graphite and some kind of watercolor or water-soluble graphite or whatever it is, the result is always very soft. The edges are soft, it looks kind of velvety. It's actually very nice, which is why at the second stage, if you're done, you can just say, I'm done. That's it. You can be finished right there because it's enough. And you don't have to go any further if you don't want to. I like contrast. So at the end of stage 2, I was still not done. I wanted to go back in there with some ink. And that's what I did. I darkened all the shapes. I added kind of shadow areas. I made them a little bit darker with the ink. I used some hashing. They're hash marks, and then if you go the opposite direction, those are hashtag marks. Let's get that straight. But I was actually able to see some of the shapes a little bit better after I went in with the ink, and the texture just a little bit more. I want to suggest you try something like this. It doesn't have to be these exact 3 steps, but do something where you'd be happy at the end of every stage, but you keep going and see how far you get. Now, with the graphite smudging, the watercolor on top of it, or the water-soluble graphite that's on top of it, I think it sealed down some of the graphite a little bit. If you rub your hand across it pretty hard, you'll still get some graphite up. I did. But for the most part, once you put something water soluble on top of it, it kind of holds it in place a little bit. The graphitint is not the best example because some of that color will come up because it is colored graphite. That's what it is. So if you use watercolor, put it on a little bit thicker than normal, it'll seal in there a little bit. I went back and looked through this. I flipped the other page. Now this is a spiral bound book, so it tends to move a lot more on the pages and usually would transfer that graphite over to the other page a lot more than normal. But I looked at it after a few days, and now it's been probably about a week since I actually did this drawing, and there's nothing there. It's completely clean. I could draw on it if I want to. I don't tend to draw on the backs of the page in these spiral books, but then this is a self-made spiral book, so I put that in there, and that paper right there is the Legion hot press watercolor paper, and that's what I'm using for this. So just in case you were wondering, it's not textured. It's very smooth, which sometimes will help the pencil kind of get into the paper a little bit better instead of being on top of all those hard ridges. And I think this is an excellent way to just experiment a little bit. I've never done one of these before. I've done something similar. I've done some water-soluble graphite and then gone back over it with ink to define some of the shadows. But I've never done a 3-stage, a full regular graphite drawing, and then gone into putting on some kind of water-soluble medium on top of that, and then gone back with the ink on top of that, on top of the third, for the third layer. So I think it worked out really well. It's really fun to experiment with and see where you can go with it. I didn't even expect it to come out this good. Usually I say, I'm not really proud of this, or I'm not really happy with this, but it's okay, and I'll just take something to the next drawing. This one I really liked. I actually really like this drawing, and I'll probably take this idea and do something better with it and do something bigger with it. But it was just fun to experiment with. So always experiment with your art projects. You never really know where you're going to end up, and you may experiment with something and find something completely new that you love. Just like the last video, if you see that, go back and look at that last video. That's something I've never really done before until I did it one time, and the last video was the second time that I did it. Well, no, it's more is the second video I made of it, but I've done a few more of those. I really enjoy the way that comes out. And same thing with this. I'm going to do more of these because I enjoy it. Experiment, you find out what you like, and that's what you do. So while we're talking about excellence here, I was watching Top Chef. Have you ever seen Top Chef? I hate those shows. I absolutely hate them. They make me sick to my stomach. They make my skin crawl. I hate reality television, but my wife loves it, and I was sitting down with her and we were talking and it was on. So I sat there and watched it with her. And now in this episode, they were doing this, supposed to put on, each team had a 5-star restaurant that they were going to be, I guess it's a restaurant wars they call it, I think, something like that. And they were going to go ahead and produce this 5-star restaurant. And I'm looking at the extras that they have on the show, like the servers and things like that. And I'm looking and thinking, they have got, these people, these judges are professional chefs. Would they deal with these servers? Because I'm watching them, they grab the plate, their thumb is on the plate. It may not be in the food, but it's squarely on the plate. It's not on the rim. They didn't grab it from the side and try and shimmy it. No, that's not how it works. And I like that word shimmy. I just wanted to work it into a sentence. But they didn't do that. They grabbed it with their meaty hands and their thumb right in the plate. If someone served me a plate at any restaurant and their thumb was in the plate, I'd probably tell them they can take it back. I probably would not eat that. I don't understand. Like, Top Chef, yeah, it's a 5-star restaurant. Here's a thumb in your food. I don't understand that. It made me sick. It really did. I looked at I couldn't even handle watching them eat after I saw that. Those servers shouldn't even be serving McDonald's hamburgers with like that. You don't put your finger in the thing. They had no gloves on. There was no white glove service or anything like that. There was just their bare hand, thumb in the plate. Here you go. someone did that to me, I'd stab their finger before they let go. That drives me nuts. And while we are talking about excellence at your job and doing things that no one should do at a professional job, every once in a while I have these like spasms in my back because I have a nerve bundle behind my spine. They can't get to it. It's painful all the time. And what happened was I have to go for a massage once in a while to loosen up some of those muscles because I'm in a lot of pain all the time. So I go to a place and they're usually good, but their normal person that I get was not there. They left. So they gave me this other person, and they know deep tissue. I've got boulders in my back. You have to basically take a sledgehammer and hit them and then push as hard as you can and possibly get a jackhammer in there, and then they loosen up a little bit. So very firm pressure, always deep tissue massage. That's what I go for. If you're not hurting me, you're doing it wrong. So this guy, he says, okay, what do you think needs to be done here? And I said, well, it's my normal thing. It's in my chart. You know, they suggested you. They said you would be very good for this deep tissue massage. He looked at me and said, oh, maybe years ago I used to do that. But, now not so much. So I didn't want to make the guy feel bad. I'm like, okay, well, just do whatever you can. He said, hey, let's start with some stretching. Let's do that. So I said, okay, I don't have a problem with that. Let's start stretching. He starts stretching me, and he doesn't stop stretching me. I spend an hour being stretched. My arms being pulled up over the back of my head, my leg being twisted sideways and distorting my ankles and my knees and my elbow, and that's all he did for an hour. He stretched me. This is a professional massage place, and the guy just basically, I don't even know what that was. He was like a sports coach, and he stretched my arms and legs. I could have done that at home on my own. I didn't need to go there and pay a ridiculous fee. Get the hot stones out. Start pounding those muscles and, make my back turn into jello. That's what I really need. And so, but no, he stretched my arms and I didn't get any of that. I don't know if you've ever had an experience like that, but I know it's problems that people shouldn't be complaining about because you go to a massage. If you can afford to go to a massage, what are you complaining about? But really, if you're going to splurge, and it is a splurge for me, it's not like it's just something I take lightly and, oh yeah, I have a couple extra bucks, let's go get a massage. I actually need it or else I will be in pain, so I get them. But it's just once a month. I look forward to that. Just relax me a little bit. Just make me not in so much pain today. Okay, last story about someone who is not very professional, who claims that they are so professional that you should only ever listen to them. I try my hardest not to talk about health on this channel because it's not what we do here and people get all excited and angry about it. So, but anyway, there's the guy I like to watch. His name is Casey. Vegetable Police, that channel. The guy's funny. Don't listen to anything he suggests to do, and he will admit that himself. It's a comedy channel, and he just tries health things. He does try and give advice about what's best and what's not, whatever, but immediately in the next video he just debunks himself. It's funny. You have to look at that with a sense of humor. He's not being serious. So, and if he is, it doesn't matter. So the thing is, there was this guy who was going to, I guess, pull apart, didn't realize what they were looking at when they looked at his channel. And I'm not going to call this other guy out, but anyway, anytime he was arguing the whole time, but he didn't understand how to argue. He thought that because he had some kind of degrees and was an actual scientist, that he could argue away these points. And I thought, what is he doing? He would play a part where Casey very obviously was just playing a joke. He would be talking to himself back and forth. I stole that from him. Don't tell anybody. I stole that bit from him when I do the little talking things, and it doesn't matter. He doesn't mind. So then he's doing that skit, and the guy's arguing with the skit, and he's obviously being ridiculous with the things he's saying. I mean, just ridiculous. But the only thing the guy can actually argue with, it's not like he's arguing and he learned how to argue. He's arguing by saying, no, that's not right. No, don't listen to that. No, that's not good information. No, that's all he's doing the whole time. He's not actually arguing anything. The way you pick apart an argument, you hear what someone says, you pick a section of it that you can debunk, you point out all your facts, you point out all your studies and everything else that you need to talk about, you move on to the next thing. Maybe take a whole video that's like 20 minutes, and you'd break that out into 5 videos that were 20 minutes each, that just broke apart each little thing. You don't sit there just yelling, no, you're wrong, you're wrong. That's not an argument. That doesn't make anybody think you know what you're talking about. He just, and then, it was towards the end, Casey said, guarantee. That was the word. It was 3 syllables, and the guy was stopping it on every syllable. And no, you can't guarantee anything. We already went over this. Yeah, but you're watching a video. The guy didn't listen to your commentary and then have a response. He's still in the same video. You're in a different video listening to it. You should understand that he can't answer you. It's a video. So, and then he ran, no, it's not a guarantee. It's not a guarantee. And then he'd play a little say, T, no, it's not a guarantee. Just, the guy was a lunatic. And I don't know, I kind of sound like him right now. I'm a little bit fired up over this, but he just, I don't understand. He tried to say he was a real scientist. He has all these advanced degrees. This other person he was referring to, not Casey, someone else, didn't even have a high school education, and he was arguing that this guy doesn't know what he's talking about because he doesn't have a high school education, but he knows what he's talking about because he has these advanced degrees. But the way that you wouldn't know that if you heard him. You would think he was a moron because he didn't actually give any factual information, no statistics, no studies, no anything to back up anything he was claiming. It was just him yelling. And that's almost what our society has turned into. It's someone who has an opinion, but they have no idea how to express it, so they just yell. I think that's a good picture of our society, and I think maybe we should take these people and just let them know, hey, look, we heard what you said, but none of it made any sense. There was no factual information. There was nothing of substance there for me to digest. All you did was say no to what someone else said, but you didn't say why I should think no to what they said. You just said no. People are weird. They're just strange. It's a strange time we live in. People are doing whatever they want, saying whatever they want, but they have nothing to back it up, and they think that they're going to sway somebody else to their position, or maybe not. Maybe they think that they're just going to outshout the person, which doesn't do anything anyway, unless the other people who follow them are then brain dead and then follow them just because they're shouting loud. Hey, they're shouting louder. They must know what they're talking about. It doesn't work that way, but maybe someone thinks so. I don't know. So those are all good art talks today. I'm happy that we spoke about artists and what they do. And so let's maybe get back to that for a half a second. Getting back to this, I really enjoyed this because it allowed me to expand and kind of experiment in things that I don't really know a whole lot about. So that means that there is no reason for you to be listening to me about this type of art at all, because I really have no idea what I'm doing with it, and I'm letting you know that. But if you see something here that maybe you like, maybe you enjoy, then please let me know. Try it out. Let me know how it goes for you. Let me know how this all fits together in your world, because that's important. That's what this is for. To give you some ideas, to get you going and give you some inspiration. And I love hearing those comments. I get those comments every once in a while where people just say, you know, I was looking for something, found your channel, and it just inspired me, and now I'm doing things that I haven't done before, and I'm excited again. That's an amazing thing to hear for me, because I'm just having fun also. So if someone else sees that I'm having fun, and then they have fun, it brings me great joy. And that's really what this is all about. I just love doing that. I love connecting with you guys, and that's fun for me. That's the best time that I could have here. And sometimes my conversations get a little yelly, and I apologize for that. Sometimes I get overexcited about the things that are going on that I see that are just so mind-numbingly stupid that people are doing. But, you know, I'm just expressing myself too. So that's what this whole drawing is about those things I just talked about. This represents that, not even a little bit, but you get the picture. So we're going to have some more fun in another video where I yell at more people. But in the meantime, I hope you try this and experiment with it, and I hope you have some success and some fun. And thumbs up the video if you have ever gone to a massage and gotten yelled at for not eating the right diet from a masseur. Is that how you say that? A masseur? I think that's what they're called. Then some of them are very nice people. I have some friends that are masseurs, but they're not like that. They're not idiots. So anyway, thumbs up if... Did I even say if you should do... if that... It doesn't matter. Thumbs up the video anyway. That's great. And also, I just want to say, I'm going to pop up at the end of the video here. You'll see some very valued Patreon supporters. But I appreciate them very much. They're amazing to me. Some great people. But if you just watch a video, if you like a video, or if you have subscribed, or if you have shared a video, or just talked about it, or you've gone ahead and tried something that you've never tried before from my video, all those things are supporting me. All of those things, you buy something through the affiliate links, or you get a piece of merch, which right now I don't have much of and it's all crap. But if you do that, all of you are supporters, and I appreciate all of you so much, and I will see you in the next one.